Hey Terraformers, it's Andrew Brown, and welcome to another video. We're going to be talking about how to get help and how to ask questions in a good way so you do get help. There is the thing that Chris Williams likes to say, which is there are no dumb questions, and that is true, but there are dumb ways to ask questions, and I want to make sure that I give you all that knowledge up front so that you're getting help as quickly as possible. And there are a few things that really do matter. Now, this is a beginner boot camp, so we're going to be a little bit relaxed on that, but I'm going to be inching you towards asking good questions. If you do not ask them where you've showed good consideration and effort, do not expect to get helped. Or you're going to get a lot more questions back than answers. So I just want to make sure that is very clear here from the get-go. The place that you're going to ask questions is generally going to be in the Discord. On the left-hand side, you'll see there are help forms for each week. For each week of the boot camp, this is where you're going to ask your questions. So if you are on week 0 and working on week 0 stuff, ask them in the week 0 stuff. If we're in week 1, ask them in week 1. If the boot camp is on week 2 and you're still in week 1, ask them in week 1. So that makes sense. Right now, I don't have tags in, but at some point you'll have to tag these correctly. These support full markdown, so you can put markdown in here. And so we want to see that kind of stuff in here. Anyway, because this one is still not filled out, what I want to do is show the old boot camp, and we can kind of crawl through and see good or bad questions. The number one thing I want to see here is make sure you are good and descriptive at the top here. And I think we have rules here. I got to copy them over to the other one, but let's take a look at what the rules I wrote out here. And it says, before you ask a question, we'll read through this. So before you ask a question, you need to show proof of work or effort of work. That's very, very important. Did you use Google or ChatGPT to research your issue and show what you found and think might be the issue? Did you make any attempt to debug the issue? Show us how you did. Did you provide relevant screenshots? Don't post photos of your laptops. Use snipping tools. What I'm talking about there is do not use your phone. We talked about this in screenshots in one of the videos. Do not use your phone to take a photo of your computer to show the problem. Take screenshots with your keyboard on your computer on your desktop. Okay? Did you provide us code examples? Did you include it directly here as code blocks in Markdown? Did you apply syntax highlighting so that it is easy to read? Did you try to commit your code to a working branch and then share the branch so we can investigate your code? In this bootcamp, the whole bootcamp is feature branching. So it should be very easy for you to commit your code, even if it's in a broken state, so that we can help you out. Before you help a bootcamper, if you know the answer, guide them to it. Don't just provide the answer, right? Because we're not here to hand out answers. We're here to make our minds more elastic, more easier to work with cloud, and that's the goal here. So this disclaimer is going to appear when you make a post in the other one. But let's go take a look here and see what we can find for examples. We'll take a look at this one here. So this is just Kiru-chan, who's just saying, hey, I found some stuff that might help out. So I don't know if this will help anyone, but I found it useful. If running VS Code on your local machine, you can automate the NPM installation with the task definition. So, and you can see here we have a code block. I think the only thing I'd like here is the syntax highlighting. That would be nice. But very good descriptive. References, screenshots, great way of helping folks. And we see an emoji, which is great, or a meme. So not exactly a question, but more just a way of helping folks out. Let's go later into the weeks and see what we can find. We'll go to week 6 and 7. Another thing is that, I will go through these and try to help resolve things. But when things are resolved, I or a organizer is going to update your form to say resolved, or you'll have to update it. But let's take a look here and see what we have. So I had to start week 6 and 7, so I registered a branch new task definition. Variable values seem to be correct. As soon as I launched the backend service, the container registers, then immediately deregistered. The service spins up a new container, repeats the process indefinitely. I believe something happening as soon as the container spins, but it's happening too quickly. There's no time for CloudWatch to collect any logs. I can't SSH into the running container. What do you think could be a possible cause? This is a good question. Now, there's no screenshots, there's no code, but Mariachi in a jar is being very descriptive of what their issue is. And that is what is really important. We need to know that you've gone through and you said, I did this, I did this, I did that. And think about things about it before you go and ask. Let's keep going through here. Yeah, and these resolve ones are usually good. So we'll look at another one. When I'm working with a domain, I can CRUD, but cannot send messages. I get a 500 error when inspecting my network. We're going to open this one up. It shows a 500 error. In this bootcamp, we dealt with 500 errors, 403 errors, all sorts of errors multiple times over. So it's okay, but notice like if somebody starts asking the first thing, can you do this? Can you do that? You probably don't have a good question. Good question. You probably haven't done the proof of work, because the idea is you're trying to avoid anyone saying, have you done, can you show me this? Can you show me that? And the thing with the 500 error is if you get a 500 error, the first thing you're supposed to do is check your backend logs for this bootcamp. So this person is not providing all the information up front. It's better than other ones I've seen, but again, it needs to be more descriptive. Another thing that, and I don't know if I can find it in here, but this is what drives me crazy, is when folks say, please help, I'm stuck, please help. You're writing in the help forms. You don't have to say, please help. We already know that. Please do not beg for help. We'll help you, but just put more time and effort into the way you write your question, right? So here's a good one. Look, oh, it's mariachi again. So we have the error. I tried this. This is the question. I'm stuck with this problem. Has anyone helped? And this shows the error, right? Now, I don't know if looks like they resolved it themselves, but they came back. And when they solved it, they posted it back for everybody else and was very descriptive. So they were able to close the ticket and they edited themselves. So hopefully you're seeing a pattern of that in terms of help. And, when you ask questions, you might want to use the desktop application because it's so much easier to take screenshots and get help that way. So, hopefully that gives you kind of an idea of expectations and what you can do. I do want to just show you that I can make a post here. I'm going to do it in the old bootcamp, but you could do it in the new one. I'm just going to go here into week X, or maybe week 10 here. I just want to show you an example post. So what it looks like. So the way it works is you have a title and a message. So I am making an example post, example question for future bootcamp, for future video, or video, a video. I'm making an example question for another bootcamp. There we go. And so we go here. I want to show, so we can say things I tried. I just want to show you that you can do markdown in here. I tried this. I tried that. Here is a link to my code. So, that would be another good thing to show is your code. So if we're working on the bootcamp, let's say, we'll go over to the Terraform one here for a second. Terraform. Into the beginner here. And I'll make my head a little bit larger. I might be covering stuff up. So let's say I'm working on something. Here is a feature branch. And let's say I'm having a particular issue with my gitpod YAML file, or maybe it's some, let's just say it's my gitpod YAML file. Problem. You don't have to follow this exact format, but I'm just saying that we need to have the description. Every time I launch my gitpod, I run into a compilation error. I asked ChatGPT to tell me if there was an error with my script. It returned no problems. I tried launching a new environment. But it still happens. What could be the cause? Here's my link to, here's the link to my code. And then I could also drop in the example here. So if I just go here and copy this. We could just copying the text here, see? The YAML. Okay, and then go up here and I could say YAML. Now it's going to format that YAML. And so we'll post that. And so that's a little bit better. And if you need to put a screenshot in there, you can take a screenshot. I'm going to take a screenshot right now. So I'm just going to, I'm not sure if it records the snip screen. I think it does. But I'm taking a screenshot here, right? And I'm going over to Paint because that's how it works on Windows. I'm going to post that in there. In fact, I think I can just paste it in here like this. Here is my screenshot. Okay, and I'm going to say add to post. Okay, so there is the screenshot. The only thing we didn't do was tag this, so how do we tag? Usually lets us tag here, so here's my question. This might not have tags in this week. So some weeks we'll have tags, like see these here. And so if there are tags to be tagged, because there are certain things we do at each week, and this one is I see everything is CloudFormation, but this should have a CloudFormation tag. Give me 2 seconds. All right, so I just created a few tags here. So if we click into here, create a new post, then we can choose our tag. Sometimes you have to put a tag in, but I'm just going to go back and see if I can add a tag. Does it let me do that? Oops, I think I can. Let's go back over here. Edit post. Yeah, I don't know if I can tag after the fact. But anyway, when you make them here, just make sure that you choose your tags, and then it'll post with the tag. That's just an example one, so hopefully that gives you an idea of how to do that. We can probably go, oh, we can edit tags here, so I can go here. There we go, so there's a couple tags. And let's say I've solved this, and I can go ahead and edit this post. I'm just right-clicking, by the way, to do that. And we'll just say resolved, save changes, and so then we'll know it's resolved. Now, in the real workplace, you probably would end up using an issuing system. So like we do create issues in, well, I don't know, not necessarily, because like if you're working on in a team with a company, you might be using Slack, you might be using it's Atlassian program for communication. I think Atlassian has something. And so you might have this back and forth with other people at your organization. But, you know, you want to make sure that you are taking the effort and time to write good questions and avoid some of those issues there. But hopefully that helps, and we will see you in the next one. Okay? Ciao.